What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a sensational new Liverpool transfer news video, because Liverpool, as I told you, that they are interested in signing Alexander Isak. We just made a club-to-club approach with Newcastle to discourse a record bid for Alexander Isak, and Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are aiming for an absolute Hall of Fame summer transfer window. Can you imagine if Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak in the same transfer window? That would break my mind and break the internet. And by the way, I want to dedicate this video to the man in memory of Diogo Jota, forever Liverpool's number 20. He will be forever remembered. And I also want to spread positivity with my videos. And I also want to inform you guys, but Fabrizio Romano has said that if Isak won't be available, Liverpool can enter the Ekitike race. So basically, Liverpool are giving a warning to Newcastle. Either you sell us Alexander Isak, or we will buy Hugo Ekitike from under your nose, because Newcastle have made a bid for Hugo Ekitike already, worth around 80 million euros, I think. And decision is up to Newcastle, as they never wanted to sell Isak and they are offering him a new deal. I think Newcastle will choose to keep Isak and to let Liverpool have Ekitike, but this is a sensational news. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to reading your comments. And David Ornstein have also reported, and he is very closely tied to Liverpool sources, so his updates are as good as almost coming from inside Liverpool FC. Liverpool have made an approach to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle. So now it's official. Now you guys don't have to tell me anymore that there is no way Liverpool are trying to sign Alexander Isak. Basically, Liverpool say that no formal offer has been submitted yet, because they are well aware that Newcastle don't really want to sell Alexander Isak, but Liverpool have communicated their interest to do a deal in the region of 120 million pounds. So basically, we are telling Newcastle, you can either sell us Alexander Isak for 120, 130 million pounds, or we will buy Hugo Ekitike from under your nose. Liverpool's admiration for Alexander Isak is long-standing, and Hugo Ekitike has also been among those on their radar. There has been no official contact from Liverpool to Frankfurt yet. And of course, Newcastle are also working hard to get Ekitike, but they have yet to reach an agreement with Frankfurt for the Hugo Ekitike transfer. David Ornstein said that there is an awareness that Liverpool need to make further transfers, and one of them needs to be a striker. Obviously, after the tragic passing of Diogo Jota, there is a big hole in the number 9 position in the attacking department, and also Darwin Núñez is looking to leave Liverpool as well. So the Athletic reported that Liverpool's focus is on finding a top striker, a top number 9, as they seek to strengthen their forward line. So Liverpool have of course already broken the transfer record this summer with the addition of Florian Wirtz, and Liverpool still have a lot of money to spend. Plus, we are in the process of selling Luis Diaz. More on that a little bit later in this video. So apparently, also Alexander Isak has told his agent that Liverpool would be his dream move. And if Newcastle are willing to sell, then he would love to go on good terms. He doesn't want to hand in a transfer request, but he would love to sign for Liverpool. And also, Alexander Isak hasn't ruled out forcing a move this summer. That encouragement reached Liverpool, and that's why we are approaching Newcastle and saying to them, you have a player who wants to join us, you can have 120, 130 million pounds, and then you can still sign Hugo Ekitike. We are pulling out of that deal if you let us have Alexander Isak. Hugo Ekitike also has been told that he will be Newcastle's number 1 striker long term. So Newcastle know that either this summer or next summer, Alexander Isak is leaving. That's why they are signing Hugo Ekitike. Newcastle are not in a financial position in terms of PSR rules to sign Ekitike and keep Isak long term. They can't keep 2 top strikers who are very similar in profile and they also have to give them top wages. That would absolutely decimate Newcastle in other areas. Then they also signed already Anthony Elanga for 55 million and other players. So Newcastle already spent more than 100 million in this summer transfer window. Everyone at Newcastle also has accepted that Isak will leave the club in the near future. The big question is, does Isak leave this summer or next summer? Also, will Liverpool break the bank for him? I think this is a clear indication that Liverpool are willing to break the bank for Alexander Isak, and they are willing to offer 120, 130 million pounds for Alexander Isak, which will be a new club record and a new British transfer record. Can you imagine Liverpool breaking the Liverpool's transfer record and the British transfer record twice in the same transfer window? Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. But I love the ambition of Liverpool Football Club, and this transfer saga is about to take up. And David Ornstein earlier reported that Liverpool's focus in the market is a top striker. Wide roles are filled. Darwin Núñez is expected to progress again soon. So Liverpool's priority now is a number 9. And Isak and Ekitike are the two players that Liverpool are most interested in, but there are other options. We have been linked with Jean-Philippe Mateta as well, the Crystal Palace striker. But Liverpool, I think, wants to sign an elite striker, and if Darwin Núñez leaves, then Mateta will be signed maybe as backup for a cut price deal, because he's 28 years old, so he's not a young striker anymore. But he's in his prime basically right now, just like Alexander Isak, so they both can come in. Potentially, if Darwin Núñez is sold for big money, then they both can come in, and basically then Liverpool's striker position will be sorted for the next 3 or 4 years at least. And David Ornstein said that Liverpool right now don't have an established out-and-out striker up front. It was supposed to be Diogo Jota next season, and another striker coming in. I still can't believe that Jota is not with us. May he rest in peace. But now it looks like Chiesa is considered an option there. And also, Darwin Núñez is being approached by Napoli, by Al Hilal, by other Saudi clubs as well. So it is expected that the move for him will progress again soon. So at the moment, Darwin Núñez is going to leave. That's how it looks like. And Darwin Núñez only started 8 games last season in the Premier League, and he only scored 7 goals in 47 games. I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough. I love Darwin Núñez as much as anyone, but he is not good enough to be Liverpool's main number 9, and he is too good of a player to sit on the bench and to get big wages being paid to him. And also, I think it would be good for his career to move abroad and to actually start fresh at a new club. And it goes without saying that Alexander Isak would be an absolutely monumental, seismic signing for Liverpool, just like Florian Wirtz was. And Liverpool already are having a historic transfer window. We already spent around 200 million pounds on 4 or 5 new players. Signing Isak would make this a once-in-a-lifetime transfer window. This already is a better transfer window than anything I can remember in the last 10 or 15 years. But it will be painted out as maybe some people are pessimistic. They think that Liverpool surely can't sign Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak in the same transfer window. But Liverpool are in such a healthy position financially that we can make it work, especially if we sell Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez for big money. That could generate another 120 million in player sales, because Liverpool are looking to make historic level sales as well. Harvey Elliott could fetch 40 million, Darwin Núñez could fetch 50 million, Luis Diaz could fetch as much as 70 million. We already sold Trent for 10 million, Kelleher for like 20 million, Kwanzaa for 35 million. So Liverpool have a historically high budget because we also didn't spend a lot last summer. We only spent 11 million on Chiesa. And Newcastle are really interested in signing a big ticket striker because they are preparing for all eventualities. And they know that they will not be keeping Alexander Isak for the next 5 years. They know that Alexander Isak has bigger ambitions than playing for Newcastle. No disrespect to Newcastle, but they won't challenge for the Premier League title or won't challenge for the Champions League seriously, consistently for the next 3 years. And that's where Alexander Isak wants to be. He wants to play for a club who can win the Champions League, who can win the Premier League. Also last year, remember when David Ornstein wrote that Liverpool want a top-class defensive midfielder who is not playing in the Premier League, And then a couple of days later, the news broke that Liverpool agreed a deal to sign Zubimendi. In the end, Zubimendi changed his mind and he's going to Arsenal this summer. And I think that worked out perfectly for Liverpool, because that's why Ryan Gravenberch could become first choice. And he became world class under Arne Slot. And Gravenberch was one of the young and best players, best midfielders of the Premier League season. And Ryan Gravenberch was one of the many reasons why Liverpool managed to win the Premier League title in Arne Slot's first season. So this feels a similar story, that basically David Ornstein broke the news that Liverpool are looking for an elite striker, and just a few hours later he broke the news that Liverpool have approached Newcastle and offered 120 million for Alexander Isak. What an absolutely sensational day we are having. And I'm actually happy that I held off on making this video earlier today, because just 30 minutes before I started recording, the news broke that Liverpool are approaching Newcastle for Alexander Isak, and this is now an official approach. And Ben Jacobs is also reporting that Liverpool are prepared to pay a British transfer record for Alexander Isak and surpass the Florian Wirtz package. So Liverpool are prepared to pay even more than the 116 million we paid for Florian Wirtz. Of course, all depends on Newcastle, but club-to-club talks have begun. No forward bids yet. But Liverpool want to clarify that how much money Newcastle are looking for, and if they are categorically saying that Alexander Isak is not for sale, then Liverpool will turn to Hugo Ekitike if the Isak deal is not possible. So Newcastle are in a very tricky situation, because if they say Isak is not for sale, they miss out on Ekitike. But then Isak might still say to Newcastle later in the window, I want to go. I want to move to a top club, and maybe he hands in a transfer request, or he leaves next summer, and then Newcastle are stuck with no Ekitike, no Isak, and they have to find another top striker target. And Eddie Gibbs, who is a brilliant writer, he's a Liverpool fan, said that this is the Isak illusion by Newcastle. And Newcastle's grip on Isak might be slipping. Of course, Liverpool's admiration for Isak has not been a secret ever. But now, according to David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano, it's official that Liverpool want to buy Alexander Isak, and we are already talking to Newcastle. Of course, not a bid yet, but a conversation. But the point has been made. Liverpool want him badly, and they are prepared to break the bank to do it. That should not be taken lightly. Newcastle's public stance, of course, is unyielding, that Isak is not for sale, but privately that position holds only if Isak himself says that he's happy to stay at Newcastle. But if a move to Liverpool speaks louder than his future prospects on Newcastle, then things will shift quickly. Because Isak could say to Newcastle, listen to the Liverpool offer, I want to go there. Remember when Luis Suarez said that I was expecting to play with Fernando Torres? We signed Suarez in January of, 2012 or 2011, something like that. Like a couple of days later, we sold Torres to Chelsea, and they never got to play together, which was a real shame. But Torres also wasn't publicly saying that he wants to leave. But when the bid came from Chelsea, privately he said to Liverpool, listen to the Chelsea offer, I want to go. Isak is a world-class striker who has flourished in the Premier League. He has 62 goals in 109 appearances in English football, 27 goals last season. He is the real thing, he is the real deal. Some will point to Hugo Ekitike as reinforcement at Newcastle. He has talent, a touch of pedigree, but not the same authority in the box, or he hasn't got this record that Isak has in the Premier League. Newcastle are not signing him to play both together, no matter what their fans say. Two number 9s in their system is a fantasy, and it would be a tactical crime by Eddie Howe. They will not change the whole tactical setup of Newcastle, because they have many wingers that they play with, and they play with only one striker. So this is not to say that the deal is close for Alexander Isak, but Liverpool have made their move with intent and patience. They know that this would take more than money. They also know that bringing Isak in means finding a new home for Darwin Núñez. They are working on that as well. It is no insult to Newcastle to recognize what's unfolding here. This isn't the end of the storm. This is just the beginning of the storm, probably from Liverpool's and Newcastle's point of view as well. And Newcastle could look at Liverpool, what happened when we sold Coutinho for 140 million. We strengthened the team and overall became much better. We signed Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho, and went on to win the Champions League, the Premier League, and all the other cups. And Newcastle, I'm not saying they will do those things, they will win those trophies, but I'm saying if they sell Isak for 130 million, they could reinvest that money, buy 2 or 3 really good players for their team and become overall better than if they just keep Isak. Because if they keep Isak, then they are not signing a Ekitike, and they are maybe sign a 50 million pound player and that's it. And they also maybe have to sell 1 or 2 others. But Newcastle first need consistently to get into the Champions League to build that revenue up. Because if you only qualify for the Champions League once every 10 years, you are not going to be able to afford the players like Alexander Isak. So they need to consistently build their team up to become regular top 4, top 5 teams, top 5 team in the Premier League. Also, Bayern Munich have offered a new bid, submitted a new bid for Luis Diaz, which was rejected again. It was worth 67 million euros, which is 58 million pounds. I think if Bayern go up to 80 million euros, that's when Liverpool will probably accept it. Liverpool value Diaz at almost 100 million euros, but that is for accounting purposes, because also Liverpool want to replace Luis Diaz and they will only sell him if somebody pays over the odds for Luis Diaz, because Liverpool are happy to keep Diaz for the next 2 years until his contract runs out. Of course, Luis Diaz, it's clear that he wants to leave. That's what he made it clear, according to David Ornstein, that Luis Diaz said that he wants a fresh start in his career. And it makes sense. This will be his biggest contract of his career, and if he can't get it at Liverpool, he will go to Barcelona or Bayern Munich and get a big contract there and be a starting 11 player there. So Liverpool don't really want to sell Luis Diaz, but they will sell if a big enough offer comes in. So that's the latest news for today. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.